Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we're looking at the cold case and murder of Donna Lemon. She was only 20 years old. It doesn't mention her middle name. Usually it does mention their middle names. She was 20 years old and she was found July 9th, 1973, stabbed to death on Milligan Road on the bank of the Snake River in Idaho Falls, Idaho. Her Ford Mustang containing blood was parked where the city library now stands. So, I don't know if they killed her and then got in the car with blood on them to move the car. She was a nurse and she lived in Montana, and they don't know why she was in Idaho Falls, but she was probably taken there against her will, I would imagine. And here's a newspaper clipping found there. It says, the coroner's office at Idaho Falls says a body found on the bank of the Snake River Monday night has been tentatively identified as that of Donna Lemon said she was 19 of Bozeman. Coroner Vernell Raddock said the autopsy was still being performed. The cause of death appeared to be stab wounds in the neck. There were also stab wounds in the side. The police said they located what was thought to be the victim's car at the supermarket lot, where it reportedly had been since Thursday. The woman was reported missing Thursday when she failed to meet relatives in Montana who were going to attend an out-of-state wedding. Divers from the sheriff's office had been searching the river bottom for a weapon or other evidence. The body was found face up in the grass on the west bank of the river, about 1/4 mile south of 17th Street Bridge. The Idaho Falls Sheriff's Department said today a Ford automobile with Montana license plate was found downtown Idaho. Miss Lemon was last seen driving the dark 1969 Ford Mustang. She was reported missing by her father, George Lemon, a resident of Gallatin Canyon, 2 days after being last seen. And this is the Montana View, and it's pretty lengthy if you want to go check it out. You can see the address in the left-hand column. It says the discovery site in Idaho Falls on July 10, 1973, the day after the body of a brutal murdered young woman was discovered in the banks of the Snake River. Before long, investigators were determined that the victim was Donna Lemon, the missing Bozeman area practical nurse, well-liked young lady who loved the outdoors and was quiet, happy, and fun, without a mean bone in her body, as one friend recalled. The Snake River is behemoth marvel of nature with mouths, bridges, and inlets that encompass more than 1,000 miles across parts of 6 states. I think there's been a lot of bodies found by the Snake River. On Monday, July 9th, 1973, at approximately 7:42, the body of a young woman was discovered near the river's greenish-blue shoreline. Wow. The falling rays of the evening sun streamed through the trees off Milligan Road, lighting a wooded area of trees and bushes where about 15 feet off the edge of the tributary and several steps from the road, a local man spotted a heavy awkward lump in the ankle-high shrub. Closer inspection revealed the bloody and begrimed features of a prostrate Caucasian female with light brown hair, dark framed glasses, about 5 foot 7 inches tall, and weighing only about 110 pounds. Though fully clothed, the body was an unsightly mash of cuts, slashes, and bruises, emanating the metallic tang of caked blood. Her throat cut. She bled to death after the main artery in her neck was severed. The victim was stabbed multiple times, though knife wounds on the woman's right side were apparently not deep enough to have mortally wounded her, according to later coroner's report. No determination was rendered regarding whether she was sexually assaulted. Details were scarce, though Sheriff Blaine Skinner told the media that he believed the kill site was the location where the body was discovered. And then they found her glasses, and they checked her dental records. It says Donna's vehicle was located off Broadway in Idaho Falls, where it was parked inconspicuously for several days, about a mile from where its owner was found. Its doors were unlocked and some of its contents were strewn across the dashboard and seats, and it yielded a smattering of dry patches of blood by the driver's handle and on a shift handle, according to the police reports. Before long, investigators were determined that the victim was a well-liked young lady who was quite happy and fun, without a mean bone in her body. I'm skimming ahead. With interstate coordination in the early authorities in 2 states investigated many possibilities, though largely separately, in an attempt to determine the woman's trail to Idaho and who had brutally ended her life. Combined, they chased hundreds of tips, which led them down a number of frustrating cul-de-sacs. To date, all of the hard work by the authorities has proved futile. So it's been unsolved for 48 years. Her Donna Irene Lemon, she was born in 1952 and lived most of her life in the Gallatin Canyon, about 45 miles south of Bozeman. So, yeah, so it talks about her. This is really lengthy if you want to go look at it. She was very pretty. So it's really sad. And it talks about the summer of 1973. She was employed full-time as a nurse. So maybe she met somebody while she was a nurse. Or she just probably was in the wrong place at the wrong time. So it's very sad. Said on July 4th, 1973, Donna Lemon and Sherry Pierce attended the rodeo together. And when did she go missing? How long after the rodeo? I wonder if it was somebody that was in town because of the rodeo. Came to see the rodeo or something, or worked at the rodeo. Around the sights of the kicking horses and clenched cowboys, Donna was smiled and relaxed. Yeah, I wonder if it had something to do with the rodeo. The following day, the two friends had made plans to go horseback riding sometime after 4. So on July 5th, sometime after 11, Donna stopped at the Corral bar and met her sister Verna for hamburgers and bottles of Coke. Later, she reportedly was seen by the mother of one of her friends at the Standard Station on West Main in Bozeman alongside her Mustang, a vehicle she recently acquired. Donna made eye contact and the two exchanged smiles and waves. At approximately 1 p.m., Donna picked up her paycheck at the hospital and stopped at the bank where she received $116 in cash. Police also believe Donna went to Monarch's clothing store at Butler's Shopping Center in Bozeman, where she bumped into her cousin Patricia. Patricia was there with her mother and sister. Donna was alone. The Lemon family had plans to attend a family reunion in Moscow, Idaho, the weekend of July 7th and 8th, expecting to leave Friday, July 6th for the occasion. Donna looked for new clothes, perhaps a special pair of jeans or a studded knit top. Donna came in and said she was getting ready for the reunion. Her and my sister tried on things in the dressing room. I think she bought a white shirt. I know she was trying on some shirts. She was going, okay, Donna was planning to go to pick up her paycheck and do something at her new apartment. She was planning to then head back up the canyon where we would go pick up and do something at the new apartment. So it could have been a neighbor at the apartment or a relative of the neighbor at the apartment. That could have been it. So, witness, however, placed Donna at Stacey's Old Faithful Bar and Steakhouse between 2:30 and 4. There, according to bartender, Donna entered the bar, ordered a single can of Olympia to go, paid with a dollar bill, received the change, and then left. This transaction, which from start lasted no more than 5 minutes, remains the last known. So it could have been at the bar, or it could have been at her apartment. One of her favorite things to do was drive up Gallatin Valley. Recalls she would sit by the river and have a beer and smoke a cigarette and then head home. So, yeah, maybe that would be it then. Because she got the beer, so she would have went there, sat down, had a beer, and smoked a cigarette. So, that's probably where it was. She never arrived to go horseback riding, so that would be the last place she probably would have went. Because she got the beer to go. So obviously she was okay when she got the beer. And I don't think anybody would have grabbed her in the parking lot because somebody would have seen her hurt her, right? So she probably, I would guess it was here when she went to go sit down and drink the beer and smoke a cigarette, maybe. Unless it was at her apartment. So then this talks about who killed her. And I was wondering, the Green River killer, although he's not, they show that he didn't kill anybody till the 80s, but he could have killed people before that because he had said he killed so many people he couldn't count it. And 1973, he got married, and I'm not sure when. So maybe he killed her in 1973. And then they talk about the Lewis Clark murders, and there are a lot of murders that occurred in that area that, so. And this person was killed in 1981 and found along the Snake River in Washington. This person felt ill, and so there's different people that were killed with different suspects. It just made me think of it because there's so many people that got killed in that area. And these are Ted Bundy's victims. So, and I don't know if she was one of Ted Bundy's victims. It could have been somebody there for the rodeo. It could have been one of her neighbors at the apartment because she just got the apartment, or a relative or somebody. It could have been somebody she knew. It's been somebody there in town because of the rodeo. Maybe somebody that worked at the rodeo, and maybe they ran across her. I don't know. But she was here, and this is where she ended up. And this is going towards Pocatello. And then you got Twin Falls down here, and there's Ketchum. So you can see, maybe they forced her to drive. I would guess that she was taken against her will, maybe, and forced to drive here. And then maybe they got where they were going, or close to where they were going, and did what they did and felt like that was the place to do it. Who knows? But I was wondering if maybe it's somebody that was in town from the rodeo. Because if it was somebody that lived near her, wouldn't you notice that they were gone and they had to get back? Right? So it might have been somebody in town for the rodeo at the time, or that worked the rodeo, and then they were done and they wanted to go home and they decided that was the thing to do. Maybe they tried to get a ride and she wouldn't give them a ride. I don't know. Maybe they just decided to kill her because they were a serial killer. This one says, oh yeah, that's that. Is that where I was reading it at? Yeah. I'm wondering if it was right here. Maybe this was the last place she was, and maybe it had to do with somebody at the rodeo, and maybe that's who did it. Maybe they were in town for the rodeo. Maybe they rode in for the rodeo and didn't have a ride home. I don't know. So, and then this talks about suspects. Because there were a lot of people from out of town, from places in the state. But they say they think it was somebody she knew that did it. And then they talk about a serial killer that it could have been. Because he committed 4 horrific and random murders in the Bozeman area between 67 and 74. So, but I don't know. So there was a lot of transients and seasonal workers at the time. Wow. I don't know. I'm wondering if it wasn't the Green River killer. Gary Ridgway. At first he wasn't considered the Green River killer, and they were careful not to call him the Green River killer, but then he is considered the Green River Killer now, so. I know there was a girl dragged out of her home one year. Out, I think it wasn't that far from there, I'm not sure. They have this girl, Chrissy White, after attending a parade with a friend. This was in 79. Telephoned her mother. She felt ill, and she never was heard from. Her bicycle was not located. This girl, to 1981, they found her remains near the Snake River. So, you wonder if it's just a serial. It seems like it does. I don't. It doesn't seem like somebody would be killing somebody, just one person, and then not kill again. With the way they did it, I don't know. It's so sad. So there's photos of other people that went missing, but I don't know if it's the 70s or the 80s or what year. I just tried to look it up. This girl was a Bundy victim. This is 1975. So I don't know if she was born in 1975 or if she was his victim in 1975, but so it could have been Bundy. It could have been the Green River Killer. It could have been somebody else. Nobody knows who did it. If you have information or because it seems like somebody might know. A lot of times people know something and they don't come forward. I don't know why. But if you think you might know something and you're not sure, and you don't know if it's relevant, or you don't know if you should tell anybody, you can tell the authorities and let them decide if it's relevant or not. It's not up to you to decide, it's up to them to decide, and you just to contact them and let them know. Because otherwise, how's the case going to get solved? You might have that one missing piece to the puzzle that they need in order to solve the case, so that the families can have closures. It's really sad. So, yeah, because who knows who did it. But to drive from here all the way down to here, it it looks like that's the way the people wanted to go. So I'm wondering if it's just not somebody that wasn't there for the rodeo, and then they were going home, and maybe they lived in this general direction, and maybe they hitchhiked after that, or something like that. Maybe they lived out in Pocatello or Twin Falls or even Boise, I don't know. But if you have any information, please contact the authorities and let them know. And don't forget to pray for the families and the loved ones of this young lady who lost her life while she was so young. And thank you so much for tuning into my channel. Have a great day. Bye-bye.